People over there who are committed to speak with veracity the opposition I had raised to this piece of legislation being introduced.
The bill, the law, the 2009 law was passed in the National Assembly. My learned friend and I sat on this side of the house, next to each other. He told us that it rattled his soul. Well, I was sitting right there. I didn't feel or hear any rattle. But more important, I have the record of how we voted. I have the record, the Hansard of how we voted. Because a division was called. You see, when we speak and we catapult ourselves on pedestals, we must ensure that the record will support us.
That's correct.
A division was called in the National Assembly. And I have the votes. And I will read the names of those who voted for. And the list is as follows: Reverend Gilbert, Dr. Mahadev, Mr. Whitaker, Mr. Siraj, Mrs. Sahoy Shuri, Mr. Parmanand Prasad, Mr. Neen Kumar, Mr. Lumumba, Mr. Nandlall, Mr. Nagamootoo, Mr. Nagamootoo.
This revelation left Nagamootoo speechless and led to chaos in the House as he was called on to answer.
I did not vote. You were there.
Mr. Nagamootoo, the paper is right here. And the clerk, the Honorable Clerk of the National Assembly can confirm. The Clerk of the National Assembly can confirm that he issued the paper to me upon my request. So the world will see that everything that Mr. Nagamootoo said there was in contravention with the position he took.
Minister Nandlall roasted the former PPP MP who he said was deliberate in misleading the House. Nandlall noted that the attempts by the opposition to repeal the former president's bill is a political gimmick, and while the parliamentary opposition professes to be correcting injustice in the act, it is doing quite the opposite. He pointed out that the former president's right to security and clerical staff, among other benefits, are statutory entitlement, and the bill is flawed since the former president or no other president should be stripped of that. Mr. Nandlall, while debating the repeal, explained that even if it is achieved, it will not affect former President Barra Jagdeo or Samuel Hines, neither can it apply to President Donald Ramotar.
We have established that it does not apply to former President Jagdeo. We have established that it does not apply to former President Samuel Hines. And as 223 says, it also cannot apply to President Ramotar. It cannot apply to President Ramotar. Because as Article 222.3 says, his terms and conditions upon which he took office, of which his benefits and allowances when he leaves office would be part of those conditions, because they are part of the laws of the country. It cannot be altered after his appointment, because the Constitution will mandate a liberal interpretation of the provisions. You went to court already and you were ungraciously asked to leave.
Meanwhile, advisor to the President Odinga Lumumba called on the parliamentary opposition not to personalize the issue. He said it is unjust to compare the former president with a bottom-line worker, as executive member of the Alliance for Change Moses Nagamootoo attempted to insinuate. Mr. Lumumba cited a disregard for system, institutions and respectable individuals as the fundamental concern, and called on the opposition to be careful in how they place limitations on president and former presidents. He believes that the onslaught against the former president's pension and benefits is because of the economic difference that now exists in the local economy. Mr. Lumumba was also very vocal in outlining that there is no sinister agenda by the incumbent PPP seat to enrich the former president. He believes the bill is vindictive and frivolous. Kurt Campbell, NCN News.